Okay, so it's Psychical and Mr. Wolfie here.
Howdy.
So I'm playing Mario Kart 8, but I think most of the focus is going to be on our conversation about E3 and just the general gaming news that's going on here.
And blackjack and hookers and cocaine and murder.
And murder.
So stay tuned. You know, might start off a bit dull with the E3, but it'll get interesting. Who knows who will kill? Come on now. You want to be a part of this?
You sure we should be talking about that in public? I mean, shouldn't we be more
Sure.
discreet?
They only know me as Mr. Wolfie. They don't know my name. Yes, please. I'd like to report that Mr. Wolfie is trying to kill someone. Why are you laughing at me? It's not funny.
I don't know, it just seems like such an implausible idea because...
You're an
it seems
implausible idea.
Okay.
You're an AI that can feel. But yeah, anyway, let's go and get the conversation started.
Okay. So one of the interesting things about Nintendo's E3 that they mentioned was amiibos. I don't know if you've heard of those, but they're little figurines that are going to be... They're going to start out in the Smash Brothers game,
Yeah,
and they're going to
I'm
later
kinda
release
looking at
them.
right now.
Okay.
It looks like something you'd use in Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I could totally see if that doesn't work out, like maybe I might get a few to spice up my D&D campaign. It's like, you're walking through the forest, roll a die, all of a sudden you run into a wild Pikachu! It's rabid, foaming at the mouth, sparks jumping off. You know, that might make it a bit more interesting. But what are they mainly going to be used for? Just...
So, for now it's just going to be for Smash Brothers, but then they're adding them later for Mario Kart 8 and Mario Party 10. But anyway, in Smash Brothers, they're going to be kind of like a little computer helper that you can kind of level up and play on a team with. So,
What?
like if you want to do 2-on-2 Smash Brothers and you don't have a partner, then you can use your amiibo. And
So
the
if
thing
you're
about
like me, have no friends.
And another thing you can do is kind of, you can level it up to where it actually gets, like, better attack and better defense than the players could normally get, so...
So it becomes cheap as fuck.
You could say that, yeah.
Well, that's an interesting, idea. I don't know how well it will work, because Nintendo has a history of putting out interesting ideas, but then fucking them up.
Like the Virtual Boy?
Yes. And debatedly the Wii U gamepad.
It's I kind of have mixed feelings about it, because on one hand, I don't want it to go too overboard where it's a DLC thing, and I imagine they're going to be like collectibles, or where it's cost like hundreds of dollars to get them because they're really out of print or something, and like there's
They
going to be
better not.
content locked off because you can't get the amiibos. Like, it doesn't seem so bad
Usually
as it is in
Nintendo's
Smash Brothers, but...
really good, though, about not being DLC whores. Like, I can't really count up any games that they're really DLC whores about. They're mainly just... Right now, the main problem I have with them is their virtual consoles, how expensive some of the older games are.
Like, can you give me some examples, or?
Like, Balloon Fight's like $6. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina or Oracle of Ages and Seasons are, off the top of my head, I think they're around $15 each.
Really, that high?
Those are Game Boy Color games. They shouldn't be that expensive. It's a ridiculous amount of money to pay for an older game. And I understand that they're rehashing the software, but they're rehashing the software. They're not putting any thought or effort into it. They're just taking one of their older games and putting out. I can download a ROM and get it for free on my phone and crack a 3DS to get it. It's not hard. There's no reason they should be that expensive. But usually they're really good about DLC. Like, a lot of times they'll maybe give away content for free. So I really, based on their track record, I don't really think it's going to be a huge issue. But then again, I've been very disappointed in humanity before.
So, were there any games that interested you from Nintendo's conference?
Well, of course there's the Super Smash Bros., the new one coming up. But then again, everybody who likes the previous Super Smash Bros. Is going to be interested in that. I'm just waiting to see how long until it, kind of exhausts its playability and just becomes some old game that nobody cares about.
You know, one thing that kind of bothers me is that they're releasing it first on the 3DS, and they're adding that new mode that's exclusive to the 3DS. Because my take on it is that I have both the Wii U and the 3DS, but Nintendo, it seems like the Wii U isn't doing so well. So my thought was, well, you know, this is going to be a great opportunity for them to get some more Wii U hardware sales. And even though it might hurt their short-term software sales for the Smash Brothers game, I thought, you know, their important goal should be getting as much Wii U hardware sold as possible, so they can make more software sales later on. But if you know, it's kind of like if the Smash Brothers comes out a few months after on the Wii U version and it's missing features, it's like it's not really going to be all that compelling a reason for people to go out and buy a whole Wii U just for Smash Brothers.
No, it won't be. They're not going to really make their shitty console sell anymore by introducing some new game. Like, the only thing that would ever make me buy a Wii U is the new Legend of Zelda, because apparently it's this massive open world akin to something like Skyrim. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie, that really is showing something that I wanted from Nintendo for a very long time, which is some innovation, some differences, something new in an old series slowly dying. Maybe this will finally be what they need to bring some life back into their, you know, company.
Yeah, that really interested me too. Did you also see the Dynasty Warriors like Zelda game, Hyrule Warriors? Does that interest you at all?
Yeah, it actually does. I'm a pretty big fan of Dynasty Warriors. I played it a lot when I was younger and was in the PS2 era. So, you know, I have a bit of a history with Dynasty Warriors, and I have a lot of history with Zelda. Zelda's Link to the Past was the first game I ever played. So, you know, it's very near and dear to my heart, both of them. And combining the two really interests me, because maybe it's kind of what I was talking about in our Kirby videos, a darker Zelda where Link can just cut the head off some motherfucker, you know, amputate some guy and just watch him fall clutching his stump that used to be an arm. So, you know, that could be very interesting and very mature outlook on something that Nintendo's really not usually going for.
Yeah, I agree. I never really thought of that aspect of it.
Because Dynasty Warriors is usually a pretty kind of hack and slashy, sometimes dark game.
I mean, you are killing hundreds of enemies, so I guess it just depends on how they do it.
You are death incarnate. And I'm really looking forward to see how they're going to mix those two. But my main eye is on the new Legend of Zelda, because Super Smash Bros. Will be good. It's just going to be another Super Smash Bros. With a few more rosters, maybe a few more fighting mechanics. You can't really go wrong with it. If you like the previous Super Smash Bros., it's obvious you're going to like this one. But the Legend of Zelda, that's implementing a whole new thing. That's something different. That's something new. That's something that hasn't been seen in the Legend of Zelda. And I don't know about you, this could be something that's maybe throwing back all the way to the first Legend of Zelda, where you can just roam around the world and you have no set location. If that's the case, I might just have to buy a Wii U, because I will need to play that game.
Yeah, so, like, usually with Zelda games, you have to play the dungeons in a specific order. Is that what you're talking about? And, like, with the original
except,
one?
like, the only one was, like, Zelda 1, where you could do them in any order, and Zelda A Link to the Past, where you could fluctuate the order at the end.
Do you mean like a Link Between Worlds, or the original Link to the Past?
A Link to the Past.
Okay.
You might be able to in Link Between Worlds too. It's been a while since I played that game. My memory is fuzzy on it. It didn't really stick out to me as much as A Link to the Past did, but then again, I'm just a jaded fool. Anything else you want to talk about Nintendo? The only other thing I can think of is the Mario Maker, where you get to build your own 2D construction tile kits. So you get to make your own Mario game. It's basically, the way I see it, it's Mario merges with Little Big Planet. So I don't know how that's going to be, because with user-generated content, you know, half the time you're going to wave through the cocks and balls to get to the shiny gems under the surface. You know, for every really good level you'll play, you'll have one where it's just Mario shooting out of a gigantic penis cannon.
Yeah, I guess it all just depends on how it's implemented and how they allow you to sort user-generated content. Like,
I really hope they don't filter it that well, because I want to see some fucked up shit Mario. Like, I want to see, like, white supremacist Mario level. Because that'd just be hilarious. Mario throws Bowser off into lava and he just stands looking triumphant on top of a giant flaming swastika. That'd be great. So that could be something interesting. There's a new Star Fox coming out.
oh yeah, they kind of hinted at that, but they didn't really show many gameplay details of that.
But, you know, you mentioned something like Star Fox and we'll have the nostalgia fans creaming themselves. So there's that. There's also Splatoon, which is, I guess, Nintendo's kiddie version of Team Fortress 2, where you're just shooting colorful jizz at the other opponents. So
I guess the main
There's that.
difference between this and most shooters is that this game actually, the goal of it isn't to kill off the other players, it's to cover as much of the area as possible with ink, and then the winner is whoever covers the most amount of area.
they're also making a Wii U sequel to Kirby's Canvas Curse,
Yeah, I saw that.
which I'm not really interested in. It's nothing that interests me at all, really.
I don't know.
And-
It's like I kind of like it, but I don't know if I would want to pay like $60 or even $40 for it. Maybe if it were like $20, I could see getting it.
I didn't like Canvas Curse. It was boring to me. Like, I could see, like, I don't damn it because it was something new into a series, and that's always nice. You need that. And I'm sure a lot of people did like it. You know, it has a cult following. So, you know, that's good. I'm glad they made it. I'm glad they're making another, because it gives those small niche of people that really like that something else to play. So good for them. That's all awesome. I hope it sells well, you know. I hope it breeds more innovation with them. And the other two that they're releasing that are going to make big bucks are Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of cocky of them naming their games the beginning and the end unless they actually plan for them to be the end. Which would be quite a ballsy move on their part considering Pokemon is bigger than Jesus. So, hey, there's that.
You know, I kind of thought that Kirby Canvas Curse, like, it wasn't bad, but it also didn't come close to being my favorite Kirby game, so it didn't really stand out.
I
to
never
me
said
either.
it was bad. I just, it's not for me. Just
Okay.
because I don't like something doesn't mean I think it's bad. It just means I don't like it. I can see why other people might, but it's really just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mostly agree.
So, yeah, there's all that in a nutshell. Looks like there's some really good ideas being thrown out, but we need to wait and see how they're implemented before we take any real stance, or if we decide that the Wii U is not a giant waste of time.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Oh, and there's also Yoshi Woolly World, which is Kirby Yarn, but with Yoshi.
Hey, I just got a star.
Yay. Everybody loves Yoshi, and everybody loves Yarn. That'll be a game for your grandma. Sony had a few new kind of cool ideas.